Marko Pyhäjärvi is here today. Marko is he's done this online marketing now for, is it 10 years or?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to work in IT business, and but then he changed that completely some time ago, and then he went into online marketing, Facebook marketing, and he's teaching. He has his own like workshops. He has his own online coaching program, which I actually recommend. So if you want to have more, like if you want to have more info and you want to have more like help from Marko, go to his online program, because it's very good, affordable way of getting coaching.
So, all right, thanks a lot for asking me to talk to you today. It's a pleasure and honor. Nice to meet you all. Great to see also people from other countries and other cultures than Finland. It's quite rare nowadays in Finland. Most of the people that I talk to are Finnish. So great to see you also here. I will be talking about the skills to pay bills. So basically the idea is that, as Jari told you, marketing is actually the number one thing in your business online. Without marketing, and especially advertising that I will be focusing today, your sales is not going to grow much. Unless you have something different, something massive like TV production. That's also great, as we told you, as Jari told about Jutta. She has the TV program and so on. That's very massive. But if you can't afford a TV program right now, like spending like 100,000 for that, just or something, I don't know, 500,000, whatever it costs. You can start with advertising, because you can start with very low costs, like €5 a day, €1 a day, €10 a day. Anybody can start with that. Nowadays, we can start a business online with very low risk, very low risk. You can start, for example, producing your own t-shirts, hoodies, and so on, with your own prints, without any costs in like, how do you say, can't remember the word for that, but basically, yeah, upfront costs. You don't have to invest upfront if you are designing your own t-shirts and hoodies and so on. A few years ago, we started selling hoodies and t-shirts to our fans in Facebook. We have two pages, one reaching 800,000 nurses, another one reaching 800,000 firefighters. We started selling t-shirts, hoodies to these people, and we got massive results. Lots of sales every day. But that was like a few years ago. Now that same strategy doesn't work at all. It's like you have to approach it a different way. The market is also much more competitive nowadays. But the thing is that there will be very good opportunities every single day. You just have to take one and start working with that. Most people just don't take any action. And most people just waste their time like thinking about doing something, wondering and dreaming about something, but they don't take action. Now the thing is that you can start with very low costs nowadays, very low risk. Think about building your own like global sales 20 years ago. How much capital you would need 20 years ago to build an online sales worldwide? I don't know, maybe 500,000, I don't know, maybe more. Nowadays you can start with like, if you have like 500, 1,000 euros, you can start with that. You can create your own online store and make your first sale in 24 hours. I have done that, I can do that. You can do it too, if you just know what to do. Building your own online store takes you like 20 minutes, I don't know, 15 minutes. Putting your first products there, like t-shirts or something else, there are many different choices. Takes you like 1 hour or more. Then you start advertising in Facebook. In a few hours, you will have people visiting your sales page, and maybe the first couple of sales will be done the same night. It's totally possible, and it's not even difficult. But the thing is that you have to spend time learning the thing. You can't learn these things in 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days. You might have to spend months, maybe years sometimes, because there are lots of things to learn, and I have spent 10 years learning these things, and right now I feel like I have a very good start. So the next 10 years are going to be great. Okay, I come from software engineering, just like Jari. I used to study in computer science in Helsinki University. I used to work for big companies like Ericsson, Metso, and so on. And my job was to run software projects, both in Finland and abroad. I used to run a small team in Switzerland for 2 years. So I was completely focused in climbing the ladders of corporate business, and that was the thing in that time. But I learned that it's not what I like. It was not what I like at all, because I wasn't free. I always felt like I'm doing something for other people and I'm not free. So my parents were entrepreneurs, so somehow I figured out that that's the way to go. So 2007, I started my first online sales with Google AdWords, and I made 2 sales in the first night. I spent more money in advertising than I made back from the sales. So basically I lost money, but I made 2 sales. That was the beginning. In the morning when I woke up, I went to see my stats. I did advertising in US. I started selling other people's products as an affiliate in the US. I almost started crying in the morning because I felt great because I made 2 sales. But that was the point, the starting point, and I totally was hooked because I realized that this is something that I like. And if you are an engineer from your background, this is going to be great for you because this is numbers game. This is not old school marketing, old school sales where you meet people and do business, handshake business and so on. This is numbers game. And if you like playing poker and other things, if you like playing online games, if you get addicted to games, just like I do, you're gonna get addicted in advertising because it's a game. It's a game that you play with money. You spend money in advertising, you make more money from sales. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you make more money, and it's a learning process where you want to learn how to make more than you spend in advertising. And there's a clear process behind there. When you start building it, you will see that things go in the right places, and you will figure out that it's a clear process where you spend money in advertising and things happen on the way, and in the end you make money more in your bank account than you spend in advertising. That's the goal. Okay, so I focus in Facebook advertising and Google advertising. These are my weapons of online marketing. And without these 2 weapons, I couldn't do much. I mean, I couldn't do pretty much at all. These are the 2 weapons with which I get into the marketplace. I get myself in front of people. I sell physical stuff online. I have online stores. I sell physical stuff that are produced in China. I buy stuff from China and I sell it. Sorry, yeah. No, just buying for myself, to my own stock, and then selling it from my own stock. Then, in addition to that, I sell my coaching, and that's an online product, like, how do you say that? Not a physical product, it's just courses and coaching. Okay, I've done a lot of advertising, spent so far 1.5 million in Facebook advertising, and I do running. As you can see in this picture, I come from, I'm crossing the finish line of 55 kilometers running in Lapland last summer. I was 15th in my age group. And the thing with running is that if you run long distances, you will learn that it's very similar to entrepreneurship, like building your business. Building a business is like a marathon, or more like an ultra marathon. It takes time, it takes patience, you need to learn a lot, you need to spend time learning the things. Just like in running, you have to spend time running. You have to spend time learning things about running, learning about things, what you eat, what to do, and so on. There are many similarities between running and business. Now, why, I'm not talking to you right now because I don't know about your sales. So the thing is that why your sales might suck or why it sucks. Why in some cases my sales suck, because I'm not always doing great. Sometimes I do great things, sometimes I fail, and I have failed much more than I have succeeded. So basically you have to fail, and then you succeed, and then fail, then you succeed. So why do we fail, or why do we suck in sales? The thing is that if you can't answer my question right now, and the question is what exactly you must do tomorrow morning in order to make more money. If you can't answer that, if you can't tell me exactly what you need to do, then you don't have the strategy and tactics in your mind. You don't have the strategy. You don't know what to do, and that's totally normal. But it's a situation where you have to sit down and start learning, and it just requires you to stop and start spending time with learning the new things. And this is something that I've been doing the last 10 years. I still do almost every day. I learn new things all the time. When I coach my students and I teach people, I all the time learn new things. I spend also time with my own coaches. I spend time learning new things. I read a lot, and so on. It's a continuous learning process. Being an entrepreneur is actually a continuous learning process until you die. So if you want to make business and build a business, you need to be prepared for learning every single day till the end of your life. Now, why most people suck with sales? The thing is that I believe that they don't spend time enough learning. They expect quick results, and they just can't force themselves to sit down and do the thing that's required for learning. Most people rather spend time with TV, doing sports, something else. Sports is of course it's important, but you should not spend more time with sports than you spend with business. So most people do anything except the business things, that they should be learning the things. So this is one of the reasons that I believe is behind the lower sales. Now, what I really have seen in the 10 years when I have met a lot of people and I have taught a lot of people is that there are lots and lots of people who tend to quit too early. Many people come to my coaching, then they spend 1 or 2 months with me, and then they are like, I'm going to stop. Now they haven't got even started yet. Now if you want to learn and reach new goals, make more money, so on, you really need to look at more like in years than in weeks. The learning takes much more time than just a few weeks. You can learn new tricks in a few weeks. You can learn certain kind of tricks in a few weeks, but in order to understand, like in the whole thing, the whole process with your business and learn it very well, that takes a lot of time. That takes more like a year. Now, many times people start their businesses like start selling something online. They have great enthusiasm and great inspiration, and they start building their own program or building their own service product, or they start buying stuff from China and start selling them again to their target markets and so on. And after 3 or 4 months, they quit because they haven't got great results. They haven't made like lots of money. The thing is that there are so many things to learn that you can't learn these things in a short period of time. This is something that I really want to emphasize, that don't quit too early. Whatever you do, don't quit too early. Think about it like if I want to build a business now, I make €0 right now. I want to make 1 million a year in 5 years. Okay, sounds great. Totally achievable. What you need to do is to start learning and doing the things in order to climb there and seriously start making things happen. You won't make that 1 million in 2 months. Okay. Now, I think nobody is unable to learn. I think anybody can learn these things. These are not difficult things. Doing advertising in Facebook and Google AdWords, it's not difficult. Of course, there are things that are new, different, and might feel like weird and so on, but it takes a little bit of time to learn those things. But these are not difficult things. I don't consider myself as a very smart person. My wife does not either. But I work a lot. I'm ready to put the hours in. So I'm ready to work 15 hours easily a day. I've been working like 14, 15 hours for the past 10 years. I still do. I easily spend 15 hours a day with my computer. I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe that's why the wife is not.
That's totally possible. She's not always satisfied. But now, if you want to be an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, if you want to build something that you want, you gotta be selfish a little bit, actually quite a lot. Just like an athlete, if you want to be an athlete and if you want to win the games, you gotta be selfish. You gotta take the time. You gotta have your time and you gotta tell people around you that I must do this. Whatever happens, I must focus on these things. It's a choice. It's a choice that I do. I have been working like crazy, and I still do. I love it. I don't feel like working. I feel like spending my time with this lifestyle. This is okay for me. I run a lot. I work a lot. I study a lot, and that's basically what I do. And sometimes I take my wife for dinner, and that's sometimes. But I spend a lot of time with my business and my running and so on. Also, I spend quite a lot of time with my kids, but not as much as regular guys do. I spend less, but it pays back when I do business and I get things done. It pays back. So you gotta be a little bit selfish in this game. Now, the thing that if you don't get forward, if you feel like you're not getting forward, you are not progressing, you're not making sales, the thing probably is that you are focusing on totally wrong things. One, like a typical example is that people start their business and then they start, posting on their Facebook page every now and then, and like buy my shit, and so on. That's a waste of time. If you have like 80 people following you on Facebook, you have like 80 friends, or like your friends and neighbors, parents, kids, so on. They are not going to buy your stuff, so you're just wasting your time. Instead of trying to find free traffic, you got to start advertising. And advertising in most cases is the key behind these sales. Okay, here's a quick case study. I've been doing these things like for many years. I've been involved in many e-commerce stores projects for the past few years, and this is my current project right now. I started selling these things like 1.5 years ago. I just got an idea of selling certain things online, and I started testing if it works. I just wanted to figure out if my idea is good or not. So I invested, I had like 5,000 euros, which is not huge. You don't have to take huge loans. You don't have to sell your house or anything like that. Anybody can find 5,000. If you don't have it right now, you can collect 5,000 in a few months if you want. If you want to work like crazy, you can collect 5,000 and then you start, then you are ready for the games. Now, in that case, I had like 5,000 in my hand. Like, okay, I'm going to try with this 5,000. If it works, then it's great. If it not, then I'm okay if I lose this 5,000. Now I started buying 10 different products from China, from Alibaba. So I contacted suppliers in China, and I wanted to order 10 different products, like small amounts of each product, like 30, 40 pieces of each product. And I think I spent like 500 to 1,000 in this first order. Not even close to 5,000. Just like maybe 20% of the whole budget I spent in products. Because I know that most of the money I have to spend in advertising. Because without advertising, I'm not going to make sales. And the thing that people do wrong always is that they spend 5,000 in products, then they have €0 left in advertising, and they are totally fucked. Because you have the products in your stock, you can't sell, you can't reach the market because you don't have money. It's an awful situation. So instead of spending the whole 5,000 in your products, spend like 20%, 15%, 10%, and be ready to spend a lot in advertising. That pays back. Okay, so I spent like around 500 to 1,000 in my first order. I got the products. I started advertising in Facebook. I built my e-commerce store in just 1 hour. It takes like 1 or 2 hours to build a store, and then a couple more hours for putting the products in. So it doesn't take much time. Then, just for you to know, if you want to know, I'm using these stores like Shopify. And in Finland, I used Finku, which is the local online store system. With Finku, you can start with very small money, like €1 a day. You spend €1 a day in order to have your online store. Okay, so I started Finku in this case, and I started advertising.
It's F-I-A?
Yeah, F-I-N-Q-U.
Q-U.
Yeah.
So basically, they will do the marketing for.
No. It's just an online store.
Store. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like Shopify, but it's in Finnish.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to do the marketing by yourself. And always, when you are in the beginning, and if you don't have lots of money, do the marketing by yourself. Learn the skills to pay the bills. Because it's very stupid to, if you have like 10,000, but you spend 1,000 in products, then 9,000 paying someone who does marketing for you. Because if your products are bad, I mean, if you have not that good products, which is totally possible, then you spend the whole budget and you make no sales. So always do the marketing by yourself in the beginning. And when you make money enough so that you can outsource marketing, then you can consider buying that expertise for someone else. So in the beginning, always start by yourself. It's much more wise than buying outside. Okay, in this case, I started advertising in Facebook, and you can see in this graph that I went from 0 to €500 a day to €1,000 a day pretty quickly, like in a few days. And then I ran out of the products, then I got some more and started selling again, and then I climbed up to 2,000, 3,000 a day, and it goes like this upwards, and it's all done with Facebook ads. Just a second. So Facebook advertising and nothing more, and 2 products only. Because I ordered 10 products, 2 of them were great, 8 of them were not that good. So with 2 products only. And in order to start your online sales with physical products, for example, you only need 1 good product. Just 1 good product. That's all you need. You don't have to have like 1,000 different products in your e-commerce store. You just need 1 good product. I would say great product, 1 great product. And that's all. Then you need Facebook advertising. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah, my question was, what type of products did you have those 2? Were they physical or like some type of training online?
Physical products, in this case.
Yeah.
These are actually LED colors for the dogs, like lightning colors.
All right.
I still sell them. You can still buy this from me. But this is like 1.5 years ago. I got this idea and I tried selling these and it works great.
Did you brand them? Like,
Yeah, it's my own brand. In the beginning I didn't have any brand. I just ordered bulk stuff like without branding. Then I figured out, okay, it sells. Next order was with my own branding. So that's how it goes. So always test first. Find out what's the great product. That's the first thing to do is that figure out if there's a market for your business. First thing is to find a good product. And when you have a great product, next you start pushing it to the marketplace with Facebook advertising and Google advertising. Now, next case is that like half a year ago from today, I started selling in Sweden. So all the same stuff, all the same target audiences, exactly the same advertising, exactly the same products. Now everything is in Swedish, not in Finnish. Because I figured like, okay, Finns are buying these things from me. Swedes are not that different, they're a little bit smarter than we are, yeah. But they most probably will buy these same things. And it happens like that. So I started selling in Sweden, and from the first day, 1,000 a day, and climbing fast. Easy. That's easy. All you need to do first is to find a great product. Not every product is great, but just a lead collar for the dogs. That's not anything like exceptional. You can find those in any store where they sell dog supplies. But I happen to do this online. Most people are not doing this online. Most people are not advertising. Because I reach the market, I make a great offer, and so on. And it works.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So what is the product of the cost of that product?
For me,
No. End customer.
Oh, in my case, I'm selling these right now. I think, if I remember correct, like 14, 15 euros.
Okay. And the shipment is free, right?
Oh, in my case, I charge 6 euros for the shipment. Yeah.
Okay.
I still have like in best days, I have 13% conversion rate. If I drive 100 people to my site, 13 will buy, which is very high. So there's I make like 30% profit from these sales. Sometimes 20%, sometimes 30%. Yep.
But like, who's fulfilling the orders? Because they actually bought it.
Good question. In the beginning, you should do it always by yourself. In the beginning, and like 1.5 years ago, about more than 1 year ago, our house was like a warehouse. My wife was very satisfied. Shipping like 130 packages a day. It's like a full-time job. So I was packaging these with my kids, like that crazy. And she comes from the grocery store. And meanwhile, the DHL came in, and I ordered like a crazy amount of these collars and leashes from China. And I had like 20 packages inside our house, and they were taking a lot of space. And she came in like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, come in. There's a lot of work for you to do. So always do it by yourself in the beginning, but when you have enough sales and you can have, you are making enough money in order to outsource, then start outsourcing this. And I use a Finnish company called Nettivarasto. Yeah. Nettivarasto.fi. This is my number one go-to guys when it comes to shipping, and I have a good deal with these guys, and they are great. Right before the Christmas, I was shipping like crazy, and they were doing a great job every day, not missing any orders, and very good. I totally recommend these guys. Yeah.
You mentioned you launched a store in Sweden, so it's basically just a translation?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. I use WooCommerce.
Same platform and...
No. Nowadays I use WooCommerce.
Okay.
WooCommerce is really the best online store system. that I can recommend. It's easy to translate WooCommerce. It's actually already translated. You just install it in Swedish, for example. Then you have to translate the product texts, and that's all. And then you also have to translate your ads. Now, I don't translate myself. Jag talar svenska också. I speak also Swedish, but I don't do that so well. I have a Swedish translator. She does everything from English to Swedish. I have to write these things in English, which is okay for me, and she does the translation from English to Swedish. And it took like 2 days for us to do all the translations for these products. Now, I use Upwork for finding translators and freelancers, people doing the graphics and translations and customer service and so on. I have a Swedish girl, actually woman, not a young girl anymore. She does my customer service in Sweden. I have another woman doing the customer service in Finland. And pretty soon I'm selling also in Germany. I will have a German lady for doing the customer service.
And all three of them are Upwork.
Yeah, I found them from Marko. Yeah, it's great. Another one I use is online jobs.ph, which is for Philippines. I have quite many Philippine freelancers working with me. So these two I really recommend. Yeah.
So if you're working now in Finland, Sweden, and later Germany,
yeah,
are the orders being filled by the same company?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I live in Tallinn in Estonia. We have the warehouse in Tallinn, so everything gets shipped from Tallinn to any other country in the world. Yeah.
Is it better to ship from Tallinn or Ahvenanmaa?
I don't actually know. I haven't studied that so well. So I don't know. Yeah. I know there's the VAT difference. Yeah, I don't know about that because I know about that there are certain things that I should figure out, but I can't answer yet.
Just came in the news a day or two ago regarding this all under Ahvenanmaa thing that they may be changing the law there because it's been used wrongly.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's supposed to be like stuff under 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's been used for all units. So
okay.
they may take it away.
Yeah, I understand.
But it hasn't been fully.
Yeah.
Just to prepare.
Yeah. Anyhow, the labor costs and so on are much cheaper in Estonia than in Finland. So I like doing these things in Estonia. Okay. So just a couple of examples how to build a business online. We have done the same things with other stores. I also have done with my clients, consulting clients. Not everybody succeeds. Not every idea succeeds. We have done many things that have not been successful. But these are some things that have been successful. And sometimes you just have to bang your head against the wall and figure out that, okay, this is not working. Next time you might have a better idea and it works well. Now, okay, let's go into 3 most important things you need to focus in the beginning. So most of us, we spend time hassling things like here and there all the time. So the focus is really the key in order to make better results. So focusing these 3 things online. First of all, you have to have a great product. The basis of business online is in the product. You have to have a great product. What does it mean? It means that you bring something new to the marketplace, something fresh, something new, something different. If you are trying to sell something that has been, sold for the past 10 years in the marketplace by the big companies, it's going to be a pain in the ass.
What about service? Because some people here have services.
Okay, yeah. Just for you to know that it doesn't matter if you are selling physical goods or service or online products like information products. All these things are important for you. When it comes to service, you have to have a great service product. If you are now, what I want to point out is that if you are a hairdresser and you want to make another hairdressing service in your town, it's going to be difficult because it's so highly saturated business, highly competitive. The same with pizzas. If you want to sell pizza, you got to figure out something new in the field of pizza. You have to have some new ideas. We have this kotipizza chain here in Finland. They did the things different in like 15, 20 years ago. So if you want to build a similar business like kotipizza nowadays, you have to figure out something new again. So if you are selling service, figure out what the other guys are selling, what's the situation in the market, and bring something new, something fresh. That's the basis. Because if you are selling the same shit than other people have been selling for like the past 20 years, it's going to be very difficult. Okay, now the next thing is that look for or search for hungry markets. You told about Jutta and the weight loss business Jutta is running. Now think about it. Why the weight loss business is a hungry market? Why it's a great business?
Everybody wants to be fit.
Yeah. Now another thing is that when you have excess weight, you might have some health problems. For example, if you are older, like let's say over 60 or something, and you have weight problems, then in that case you might have something serious health problems as well. So you have a burning desire to have better health. So that's a great market because there's a great need for the solution.
And also the demand never stops.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's like 3 times a year.
Yeah, exactly the same. It's just like you know the how do you call the hautaustoimista?
That's true.
Yeah,
funeral service.
Yeah, this is the same. It's like a never-ending business. Okay, but I wouldn't go in that business. It's depressing. Yeah, the thing is that look for hungry markets where there's like people are ready to pay you right away.
I just have to say this out.
Yeah.
This dieting market, that's really a hungry market because they're not eating. So.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. You know, I told you about my running things. Right now, I have 15 kilos excessive weight for the competition. So I have to lose at least 10 kilos for the next summer because the winter time is always difficult for me. Like the Christmas time, so it's always difficult for me. Now I have to lose like 10 to 15 kilos before next summer, so I can run faster. Because in running, the weight really matters quite a lot. So
I have a solution.
Okay, that's great. Because now I know what being hungry means.
What is your personal inspiration when you look for a product? Like you said, hungry market and new and fresh product. I mean, what is your, for example, can you give us some, maybe not too secret because you have, but something, where you look yourself?
Yeah, totally understand. When it comes to physical stuff that I sell online, I don't have any personal feelings about the products. I don't love my products. I really wouldn't care much about the things that I sell. But what I'm really interested in is that can I make business with these products? What I do is that I order, let's say, like 20 products from China. I order 20 products in my next order, for example, completely new products. I have been searching online before that, doing some study, like looking at Amazon, what people are buying in Amazon. Amazon is a great place to learn what people are buying. Next thing is that I want to figure out if people in my marketplaces in Finland, Sweden, Germany are already buying these things. Anybody selling these things. I try to bring something new, and I get ideas from Amazon in most cases. Also, I get ideas from other online advertisers. I see people advertising certain products. I get the idea. I see like people are responding to their ads like crazy. I say, okay, that thing is selling like crazy. I gotta try it. Next day, I'm ordering it from China. It takes me like 1 week to get in the same game So what I want to do is that I order different products. Then I put them online on my store, and I then start advertising in Facebook. And in 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, I'm testing if the products are selling or not. If they are selling, I invest more. I order more. I might brand them for my own brand. And if they're not selling, I totally forget. This is the way I do it with physical stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you check in Amazon?
Sorry.
How do you check in Amazon?
Well, basically, just looking for the best sellers and then going deeper and deeper and deeper. Then I use also a tool called Jungle Scout Pro. You can find it online. It's called Jungle Scout Pro. So I use this product for finding out the potential behind certain products. So I don't study too deep. I don't spend too much time. I just want to get ideas and start testing like crazy. I mean, like, if I get the idea, like, okay, that product looks pretty good. It's lightweight, it's small, it doesn't break so easy, it's easy to ship. Okay, it doesn't cost me that much to buy in. It's like €2 a unit price. Well, okay, I can order like 30 units right now. So I go search for suppliers in Alibaba, and then I place an order for, let's say, like 30 pieces, 50 pieces maybe, and I spend like, let's say, like $100 in that one product only, and I get the products in my warehouse, put them online, start running advertising, and that's it. Simple testing, just testing as fast as you can, because what really in many cases, people are doing it wrong because they are spending like years building their own products that they really love themselves. I love my product, I built my product, I spent years and I searched for investors and so on. That's just wasting the time in many cases, because in the end of the day, like after 2 or 3 years, they figure out nobody's buying. I made this same mistake with my partners a few years ago. We invested 80,000 euros in physical products, which were like hoodies, t-shirts, underwear. We flew to Turkey, went to Istanbul and then to a smaller city, Izmir, and then we went to the local factories and making the deal and so on. So we came back, we ordered products worth 80,000 euros. And then it took a few weeks to get the products. And when we got the products in the warehouse, I was, posting in my Facebook page like, man, today I'm going to make like the biggest sales ever. Few hours later, when I loaded my ads, I figured out nobody's buying. In the first day, I made 2 sales. And we had like 80,000 euros in stock lying like, who's buying? Nobody's buying. That was a big mistake. So this is the mistake where you invest money in products that you like, that you think that these are great, but the market is not thinking the same. So much better idea is to spend little money just to get few products in test, and then try selling them with advertising. If people are buying, great, spend some more, order like 3 times more, then growing it, like ordering more and more, and spending money in advertising and so on. But if people are not buying, then just stop it. Forget the product. Move on to the next one. So quickly testing ideas. That's the basic idea. Okay, then when you have a great product, the next thing that you must have is a good enough sales page. And good enough means that don't spend too much time and money building your sales page and your so-called homepage and so on. If you want to build an online store, you can do it in 1 day. Easily, in a few hours. If you have like 20 products, 10 products you can sell, you can build your online store in 1 day. Easily. With services like Shopify, Finco, you can use our own server with WooCommerce and so on. You can do it very fast. and it doesn't cost you much money. With Finku, this local system here in Finland, it costs you like €1 a day. With Shopify, I think the cheapest program is like
€10 per month.
Like 15?
€10 per month.
10 euros, yeah. So that's pretty much nothing, yeah. So you can easily start your website or sales page in one day. Now, I was talking to my clients in another city some few weeks ago. They told me that they almost spent 15,000 euros for building their own online store with a partner. So you can go to the local advertising agency and they will tell you that, okay, we can build you a great online store, the best online store in the market. It costs you 15,000. You're like, well, yeah, I'm going to have the best online store in the market. I will give you my 15,000. That's a stupid move. Because you can build your own online store by yourself, spending like 10 euros a month with Shopify. You can do it all by yourself and it's good enough. Because all you need is good enough. That's right.
Marko, you have Fiverr and other.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
You can hire people for like $100.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, you can do that as well.
Like if you are not so technical and
yeah, you can do as well. That's also a good choice. But the thing is that, you know, you guys come from other cultures where you know that you can do it better ways. We have so many people in Finland that are from the Stone Age that they think that the only way is to go to the local advertising agency and spend 15,000. That's many people think like that. But spending like 100 euros in Fiverr is totally fine. But the point is that build your sales page quickly and build good enough. That's the point. You don't have to have the best fonts, best logos and everything in place. That's really wasting time. Yeah.
Marko, this slide stands true when you're planning for a solo trader.
Sorry.
When you're planning for a solo trader, you're the only trader who's selling out.
Yeah.
So you're not a multi-trader, or probably you're not selling a software online. Just imagine that if I'm selling a software online, then how do I do it?
Well, you need a sales page for that. Yeah. And you are selling not a physical product, you're selling an information product basically. What you need is that you need a one product sales page. Then also you need to have this payment processors like PayPal at least. Also you can have other options for payments. Jari actually knows this pretty well. So the difference is just that instead of having an online store for many different products, you just have one product which has one big sales page for one product only. I can show you a few examples later from my phone, but I don't have anything right now. Okay, thank you. Now, there are 5 important things in all online sales pages that you need to have in place. The title is very important. Just like in emails, you have to have a great title so that people actually get interested in it. If they don't read more than your title, then you're just wasting your time. You have to great title, and a great title basically, tells me the biggest benefit of the product that I'm buying. Trying to tell the biggest benefit of your product in your title. After that, make a video. Use videos. That's nowadays the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give us an example of the title on your dog collars?
Yeah. Can't remember by heart. Basically, I need to look in my store. I can't remember by heart.
Okay.
But I don't have a good example right now here, because but I can show you also a couple of examples after the speech. Yeah.
But short, long, title. What have you found that works?
As long as needed. Yeah. If you need a long title in order to say what you want, then use a long title. But consider also using a main title and then a smaller title beneath the main title. That's also a good solution. Yeah.
Or you also video production too?
Do you go to Fiverr again or?
Fiverr is good. You can find people in Fiverr. You can have some also some local services if you have, but Fiverr is good for starting. Then also Upwork is another good one. You can find people from Upwork as well. And basically what I do myself with my information products, like my courses, I just put the camera on and then step on the camera and start speaking to the camera. And I don't try to make fancy videos. The things that I try to tell the people with my video exactly the same I would say when I meet face to face. Think about it, if you are selling services and information products online, then think about your video so that if you have like 1 minute time to sell your stuff to your potential customer face to face, what would you say? Just write down what would you say if you have 1 minute time to sell your thing for me, what would you say? And it basically goes into the benefits. You really have to bring the benefits. What's in it for me? Why should I invest my money in your product? The more your product costs for me, the more you have to, convince. Yeah, convince. The more you have to convince. Because if you are not making the sale, it means that the person you are trying to sell is not convinced yet. So try to figure out the biggest benefits that your product has. How does it make my life different if I invest in your product? And bring these in your video. Bring these also in bullet points underneath the video. If you have the title, like here, then you have the video next, then you have the bullet points, the benefits. And after that, you should have your first buy now button, like the first place to buy the product. Yeah, call to action, yeah. Then use customer testimonials. These are very important, both in online stores and also with information products and also service products, especially with service products and information products. Mm-hmm. The more you have customer testimonials, the better it is. Yeah.
It's just trust elements.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, that's true. And do it great. I mean, don't do it like this. That a guy in a different city told me that this is a great product, and then another guy told me that this is also a great product. This is vague. This is vague. Make it great. Use people's real product. Real
experience.
Yeah, real
testimonials, references.
Yeah, exactly. And use the real photos. People's photos like real faces and so on. Real names, real titles, and real long testimonials. And just do it great. And the more you have these, the better it is. If you have like 20, 25, it's okay. It doesn't matter if your sales page is very long. It's okay.
When it's in the beginning and we haven't sold anything yet. We don't know.
Okay, then you can have like 5 here, then 5 later, then 5 again later.
So in the beginning.
Yeah, but bring the best ones as early as possible. Because it's a very strong...
How do you collect the picture of your customers?
Call your customers, ask. You just ask people and they will give you if you ask.
Marko, do you also use press releases when you launch? So
no, I never do that.
Yeah,
those. Yeah, I've seen on.
Like your own press release.
Yeah, if you can use as seen on these medias and so on, of course that's very good. But I haven't done myself that kind of things much. I mean, even though I tell you exactly what to do, I don't always do these things great. Because I have so many things going on all the time. I don't do exactly everything great when I launch a new product, for example. If I have a new coaching program and I launch it, I don't always do this exactly great. But this is exactly what I try to do also. I also make mistakes every now and then. Now the key is to be fast. Yeah. And then modify it. And then when you figure out, okay, I'm doing wrong here, then just modify it. Don't do like a huge launch, prepare it for 1 year, and then you make a huge launch. You're wasting your time. Get to the marketplace next week. and then just modify it on the go. Okay, then also use urgency. Urgency works well. I'm running webinars right now. I have my webinar offer expiring next Sunday. So I will have lots of sales next Sunday because people are going to buy when the offer expires. And again, after a couple of weeks, I have another webinar coming. Again, I have an offer. Then I have a deadline. And people will buy again. Deadlines are great. Yeah.
I have a question for the webinar. Now, if you have sent the webinar invite to say 1,000 people,
yeah.
If you have another webinar in 15 days, do you send the same request to those 1,000 people, or this is a 1,000 subset of people whom you send the webinar request to? Because if people continuously see that, okay, you are having offers every 15 days, then the sales process might be really.
Yeah, totally understand.
So how do you go about it?
Personally, I think I think the very experienced American guys, gurus, would say that there's a certain process for that. Personally, I send requests to these non-customers always. And they see that I run offers every now and then. But I don't care. If people don't buy me, they probably are not very good prospects for myself. They probably don't feel like this is a good product. So, but I try as well. I mean, I really don't care if it's going like exactly the right way. I might be doing wrong here, in this case, but I don't have time enough to do everything, you know, like perfect. Because I don't know if it's perfect or not. But what I do is that I'm very active all the time. Okay. And if you don't have a great process for handling these prospects the right way, then just mail them every time and try it again and again and again. Every time I mail these people and people come to my webinars, every time I make sales. Every single time. But of course there are lots of people who never buy from me. There are people in my email lists that have been there for like 5 or 10 years and never bought me anything. Those people are who always look for free stuff, but most probably they will never, you know, make great results because they are not ready to invest in themselves. But they are not good customers for me. Yeah.
Do you make this sales page in Shopify or other items and then post it in Facebook, or you have a page in Facebook for yourself and post new products?
In Facebook, I don't use Facebook pages much. I mean, I only use it in order to get my ads in the newsfeed. That's the only thing. I don't post anything to my Facebook pages. I don't do any social media things. I consider that mostly like a waste of time. What I do is that I do lots of advertising. I spend 500 to 1,000 in advertising every single day.
So is advertisement, for example, I see advertisement from Until Our Wish or this kind of thing. So you have to pay to Facebook to have these ads, or how does it go?
Not sure if I understood correct, but if you click my ad, you are going to either my online store to buy physical stuff that is filled with WooCommerce, and if you click my other ad, which goes to my information product, like my coaching program, then it goes to another page that is filled with I will show you here. My pages are filled with WordPress plus lead pages. I use lead pages for most of my sales pages.
So how much you said you spend on Facebook every day?
500 to 1,000 euro. Yeah, and then before Christmas I was spending like 1,500 in some days and so on. And with another e-commerce store that we have spent much more in some days. Then there are days when we don't do advertising, because sometimes we run out of products or some other things come up. Then we might have a few days off, like not running advertising at all because we are too busy. And then again we start running advertising. But the key is that you have to spend a lot in order to make much more money. Because if you are spending 10 euros in advertising in one day, how much you can expect sales with 10 euro investment? Not much. But if you are spending 1,000 in one day, you might make 5,000 or 7,000 in sales in one day. And 30% profit, it's pretty good. So in order to make more money with advertising, you have to spend more money in advertising. That's the basic idea. But you start with low budgets. You start low and you start climbing. The first thing is to find great products. Either it's a physical product or information product or service product. First you have to test the market and find out what is selling in your marketplace. And when you have a great product, next you start pushing more money in advertising and you make more money with sales. Because when you look at it like this way, this is the amount you spend in advertising, this is time. The more you spend money in advertising, the more money you make with sales. It's totally natural. The amount of money you make with sales is directly proportional to the amount of money you spend in advertising. Directly. And it's easy, when you have a great product, it's easy to see that if you are doubling and tripling your advertising budget, you are doubling and tripling your sales. It's quite easy to see. And there are people who are spending at least 1 million in one day in Facebook advertising. I'm just a small player myself. There are much bigger players in Facebook advertising.
Well, I would be much smaller than that.
But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So that makes me want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's not get into the figures, but in terms of percentage, for an example, if I'm having a budget, and that budget is about developing a product and doing lot many things.
Yeah.
So what percentage of my budget should be dedicated to this online marketing? Approximate, what is the best practice?
Yeah, I totally understand. In the beginning, it's quite difficult. In the beginning, you just have to spend and see if the product is selling or not. But when you get forward, you start selling. In e-commerce, where I sell physical products, I'm spending like about 20% of my total budget. Yeah, I mean, if I make, in order to make 1 million a year, I must spend like 200,000 in advertising, in some cases. And the same applies with my customers in many cases. Not every customer, like some people are spending more, some people are spending less. And it really depends on the product and the marketplace and so on. But for example, with my products that are pretty low cost, I mean, like my average sale is like 30 euros. So in most cases, I make like 30 euros per sale. And so I have to spend quite a lot in advertising.
So if I have understood you correctly, going with 20% from in the beginning is a good idea of the budget.
In the beginning, it really depends on if you are making sales. If you are not making sales at all, then you just have to start spending some money just to figure out if the product is selling. But as soon as you make sales, the way I look at it is that I can, if I'm selling something for 100 euros, let's say like that, and let's make this an easy example. I sell something for 100 euros and I make profit 50 euros. Every time I sell something for 100 euros, I make 50 euros profit. I'm ready to spend that 50 euros in advertising in order to have a new customer.
Exactly.
Because that's the beginning of the long-term customer relationship, especially with software and especially with service products and so on. So if you are, if you can afford spending money in advertising, the same money that you are making from your first sale, like first month and so on, then just do it. Like you can probably agree that if you are having customers at least 1 year and they are bringing you, they are bringing you a certain amount of money every year. So you probably can easily spend the first 2 months' profits easily in advertising. So in the beginning, it's quite difficult to see the numbers, but you just have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What should be included in a successful Facebook ad?
That's a great question. Well, first of all, you gotta have a great product. Then you gotta show the product in, for example, with physical stuff. I use the product pictures. I also use videos, but you have to test different pictures. The picture really makes the difference. try many different pictures of your product, or if you don't have a physical product, then try some other pictures, because the first picture probably is not the best one. So try many different pictures, then make a great offer. I use a lot of very strong offers like 50% sale, 30% sale, 60% sale, 25% sale. I use sale offers quite a lot, discounts, because that works like crazy. But of course, my starting prices are high, so I'm not selling for free.
Facebook ads, B2C sales is okay. So, but how effective is for a B2B sales, specifically Facebook?
B2C.
B2B.
B2B, yeah. I've been doing B2B like for the past 7-8 years. So my personal advertising is totally, I mean not totally, but very strongly based in Facebook. So I use Facebook advertising, but I don't sell it so that you click my ad and you go directly to my sales page. What I do is that I collect leads. I collect email lists. So I have lots of people in my email lists. I spend money in advertising in order to collect email leads. Then I drive these email leads to my webinars. Just like Jari told you that webinars are great sales machines, they are indeed. So I use webinars as well. I run several webinars every week. This week I have 6 webinars running. They are all live webinars, not recorded, because I want to be present. I want to answer the questions. So I collect leads with advertising. I provide free stuff like free ebooks. Then people come to my email list. Next, they will get requests to my webinars. Then they join my webinars. They learn a lot in my webinars, just like this presentation here. Then after that, I provide my offer.
So based on your experience with, you have customers, you do consultancy. So any B2B businesses which have been successful with Facebook ads, like?
Well, there are so many different products. If you are selling paper machines, I think Facebook ads are not really a good idea. Mm-hmm. So there are like 20 customers worldwide for you. If you are selling paper machines, I mean for the factories. Now, in most cases, the best approach is that you spend money in Facebook and Google advertising and you collect email leads. Build your audience. Just build your audience, provide lots of value by emails and webinars, and nurture the potential leads, and then provide your offer. Don't try to sell in the first contact. Just like you go to the bar and you meet a guy or lady, you don't ask him to your home the first day, but you ask for the contact details, like the phone number. Then maybe in 4 weeks you will ask more. Yeah.
So Marko, comparing right now with Facebook and Google ads, which has given you a better output?
For me, Facebook ads. Yeah, but I have some clients that are making strong results with Google ads, but most of my clients have been active in Facebook. And I would recommend starting from Facebook.
And what has been the conversion rate in Facebook?
Really depends on what I'm selling.
Yeah.
With physical products, I think it's around 10%, my average conversion rate in my online stores. But when it comes to information products, I'm not selling directly from the ads, I'm selling in webinars. So the webinars are providing me like 5% sales conversion rate. So if I have like 100 people in my webinar, I'm making like 4 or 5 sales. Yeah.
So how do you collect the email lists?
I provide free ebooks. You can find my ebooks. I will actually give you the link in the end, so you can see how it works. You can download my ebook. You will start getting emails from me. You will be invited to my webinar, and you see exactly how it works. You can just copy my process totally, and be ready to accept my offer. I'm gonna offer you great product. All right. Hey, let's get forward. I have still quite many slides left. I might need some more time. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Here's an example of a great online store. If you are interested in selling physical goods online, check out this online store. These guys are making massive results. They have like 10 different products here. These are anti-aging and beauty products. And they are selling 24 million a year right now. I was listening one podcast like a couple of weeks ago, and they talked about the sales like 24 million, something like that. So they use a lot of videos. They use lots of videos. So if they are using videos, why not you try? So try videos just like they do. And these are simple videos. She's talking to the camera. No sound, no music, no fancy effects, nothing. Just talking to the camera. Just selling with the camera. Easy examples. But the thing here is that this is not complex. This is not difficult. This is not something extraordinary. But this is a process that works heavily. Is based in video, and they also have great, awesome customer feedback. You can see it here, but it's down below. So you just check the website online. You can see how they do it. It's a very good example. Just copy the idea and make it with your own products. Next, so I'm talking about 3 most important things that you should focus. You need to have a great product. Then you need to have the sales page, some place where you sell the product. Because if you don't have the place where to sell, you can't make the sale. And the last one is the most important. It's traffic. You need to have traffic. If you don't have traffic on your website, you're not making sales. Just like if you have a physical store somewhere in the city, people are not coming to your store, you're not making sales. If you have 10 people coming to your store every day, you are making a little bit sales. If you have 100 people coming to your store every day, you make 10 times more sales. If you can manage to get 1,000 people to your store every single day, you are making much more sales. The same applies online. The more you have people visiting your sales page, the more you make sales. It's a simple idea. So you need to focus in building the traffic. You really need to focus on building the traffic. It doesn't come for free. You have to invest time and you have to invest money in order to build your traffic. And advertising is really the best friend in the beginning, especially in the beginning. So Facebook ads, Google ads, you really need to spend time and money with those 2 weapons, and you will make sales. If you have good products, you will make sales. I mean, it's hard to not make sales if you have great products and you run advertising and people come to your sales page. So you can't avoid making sales if you have great products. Yeah.
Do you advertise via partners like affiliate marketing or?
I don't do it myself. I started online by being an affiliate. I spent a few years sending traffic to other people, and I was, for example, I sent traffic to dating websites, and I got pretty good at advertising dating websites, and I used the Facebook ads those days. Also, I used Plenty of Fish. They have a specialized advertising platform. Those days I used that, but nowadays I don't use any affiliates because I haven't had time enough. I mean, I've been way too busy to even manage all these things that I have running right now. So maybe having affiliates is great, but if you have an affiliate program, then you need to sell that. You need to find those people that are great salespeople for you, because not every affiliate is making you results. If you have like 1,000 affiliates, maybe 50 of them are actually active, and maybe 10 of them are actually great. So it really requires time and effort to find those guys. And I feel like I spend my time best when I focus in driving lots of traffic with advertising, because that's something that I can do very well. So I'm an engineer. I like these numbers games. I enjoy doing advertising. So that's something that I do very well. So I just focus most of my time in advertising. Yeah. So if you are in the beginning, I would recommend that, because I've seen so many different guys trying to build affiliate programs, and most of them fail because they can't find those affiliates. That's really the challenge, especially here in Nordic countries, because we don't have too many email marketers, for example, or too many advertisers here. Okay.
One question.
Yeah.
If, for example, you are getting a lot of leads for the product, ordering, so and you run out of from the warehouse, how will you manage that situation?
Sorry.
There might be a chances that you run out of the product, so and your product is coming from all the way from China.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that?
Yeah, I have these freelancers working with me. I have a small team working with me, but we have had this situation where we ran out of products. Before the Christmas, we had some serious hassle going on, so we had some troubles with running out of products and running out of time and so on. But those are just issues. You just have to tackle them and so on.
But there is a chances that it can happen.
Yeah, of course. Especially if you can, if you reach more sales, you're starting to sell like 200, 300 orders a day. It's inevitable to have some problems every now and then because there's so many things going on. Yeah,
Marko, I'm really happy that you're able to get things from China within a week. It takes really good contact, to be honest. I have some experience with Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay. So best of luck. But my question is, what is not from out of the what you're talking about right now?
Yeah.
So what is the payment gateway you are using for your services? And if it is okay for you, then you can you tell me the percentage you're paying to them?
Yeah, sure. I can because I think they are like the numbers are like information that I'm not allowed to share. I think like that. I'm not sure about that. Anyhow, I'm using Klarna in Finland and Sweden. Klarna is really the number one in Sweden. You gotta have Klarna checkout in Sweden. It's like this. Klarna. And also I'm using PayPal, of course. And also I'm using checkout Finland, here in Finland. And this is basically my payment processor in Finland, also Klarna in Finland. Then I also have Stripe. These are actually all I have right now. Yeah. I'm totally fine with these. I can recommend, no problems at all. Some people have complained about checkout, but I haven't had any problems. So,
yeah, but one more question on this. How often Nordics or Finnish society uses credit card for the payment?
Actually, in Sweden, like 80% of the people buy with invoice. So they pay later on. So invoicing is the thing in Sweden. And in Finland, it's growing as well. But in Finland, many people buy by paying from their bank account. Yes. And only just a small percentage, like I think like 10% buy with the credit card. So compared to US, where everybody buys with a credit card, it's not that usual in here. And in Sweden, really based in invoicing. Okay, so really, if I want you to remember one thing from tonight, is that focus in building traffic. Because without traffic, you're not going to make sales. If you have 10 people visiting your sales page every day, that's waste of your time. It's really waste of your time. You gotta have much more than that. If you are doing business to business, B2B marketing, spend time and money building your email list. It's being said like years that the money is in the list, or actually the money is in the relationship with the list. So it's really true. In B2B business, you really need to have your own audience, and the audience means actually email list. Now in e-commerce, when you're selling physical stuff, you need Facebook ads and also Google ads. And Facebook ads in most cases is really the #1 weapon. So build your traffic, focus on building your traffic, and be ready to invest money in building your traffic. Because business is always about investing. And one of the most important things to invest in online business is the traffic. You buy traffic from Facebook, and you buy traffic from Google, and you get customers. And I'm ready to pay as much for the traffic and the advertising that I get from the first sale. I'm totally fine with zero profit sale with the first sale, because that's the beginning of the long-term customer relationship where the customer will bring more money with the repeat sales.
Excuse me, how do you think about YouTube advertising?
Yeah, well, you gotta try. If you feel like YouTube is great for you or could be great, you gotta try it. I have one customer right now testing YouTube ads. Haven't been that great for him right now, but we've been testing it. But I haven't done much YouTube advertising, maybe because I just haven't had time enough. And I'm so specialized with Facebook that I focus really on Facebook. But if you think YouTube can bring you customers, try it. Of course, try it. Then also try Facebook ads and Google ads and compare the results. Look for the conversion prices, how much you need to spend.
Can you choose where to put your ad?
Sorry?
Or can you select or say Google where to put your ads?
Yeah, exactly. If you want to advertise in YouTube, you do it with Google. I mean, Google AdWords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LinkedIn sales, how LinkedIn advertising, have you tested?
Yeah, I've tried. Way too expensive for me. I mean, I've had much better results with Facebook and Google than LinkedIn because LinkedIn ads are have so high CPC. I mean, the cost per click, because it can be easily like 1.5 euros.
Okay.
And in Facebook, I can easily spend 15 cents, like 10 times less. So in my case, LinkedIn has not been very good. But of course, there might be other people who think LinkedIn is much better. But in my experience, it's not that good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is Facebook the main traffic source you're using over Google, or would you say they're 50-50?
I think like 80%, 70%, 80% of my traffic comes from Facebook, especially with e-commerce. Yeah. And also my leads are coming mainly from Facebook. And also, okay, in B2B, I do also quite a lot of Google Display Network advertising. I mean, banner advertising in Google Display Network. I collect leads from there. So it's also very important for me when it comes to lead generation. But in e-commerce, maybe 90% of the traffic comes from Facebook.
Marko, do you do retargeting?
Yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely. Both in Facebook and Google. And retargeting is really very effective in many cases.
Yeah.
But one client that I have, yesterday we decided to quit retargeting advertising with him because for him it doesn't work. I mean, we haven't got very good results with his products, but it's just one case. But in most cases, retargeting works great. Okay, now important question: what is the biggest problems in business? Always think about it. Who can guess?
Sales.
What is this?
Get in front of an audience.
Sale. Financing.
Financing.
Sales.
Selling. Selling. Getting in front of the audience.
Quitting too early.
Those are all good.
Trust.
Yeah, it's good also. But I would say obscurity. And yours is pretty much closest to this one.
Well, that is the new English word for me.
Especially for B2B business, but also for e-commerce, for physical products and so on. It's really about being unknown. Nobody. I mean, there can be millions of people worldwide who would be ready to pay you right now but they just don't know about you. And this is the biggest problems in business always. That people don't know about you. They don't know about your product, they don't know about your store, they don't know about your service business. And this is the biggest problem. Now what is the fix in here? How do you fix this problem? Yes, advertising. Advertising is really the quickest, easiest fix in here. You can start with €5, for example, every day. Spending €5, €10, €15, €20. I'm spending much more than that, but I started from zero. And I've been building my way, like trying and trying and trying, testing a lot. I've been doing advertising for the past 10 years. So you got to start somewhere, but if you don't do advertising, you're going to be nobody in your marketplace. Because people don't know you. They don't know about your products. They don't know about your store. So this is really important. So keep this in mind. So what is the typical mistake people do online? Can you guess this one? Most typical mistake people do.
They don't pay for advertising.
Advertising.
Yeah. You learn. Yeah. You guys are actually the first ones ever giving the right answer right away. I mean, people don't advertise. People can go to the grocery store or some electronic store and buy €1,000 TV and proudly bring it to home for the kids and say, because this is the biggest TV in the neighborhood, and they spend $1,000, $2,000 in a TV. That TV will never make any money back. But if you spend $1,000 or $2,000 in advertising, most probably you will make it back much more than just the $1,000 or $2,000. You will make it back many times. But you have to start from the low, and it's a learning process where you have to spend time and a little bit money and grow it as long as you learn more and more. But if you're spending money on TV, you're not gonna make any more money back. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a stupid question.
There are no stupid questions. Okay, I think this is clear. Now, wow, how do you get started? Few important things about getting started. So I really recommend doing these things. Now, what most people never do is exactly this. I would say like 95% of the people never do these things. Never. Honest question. Have you ever written down your goals on paper?
Yes.
Alright, great. Okay. Now, most people don't do this. And this is one of the biggest mistakes people do. And I didn't do this for the first many years until I learned from other guys that you really need to write this down. And in the first times I wrote this down, it felt stupid, like, okay, I don't know what's my 10-year goal. I don't know what I'm going to be in 10 years. It doesn't matter if it's exactly what you're going to be or if it's correct or not. The thing is that you need to start somewhere, and you need to start writing this down, because as soon as you write this down, they are the first steps forward. Yeah.
Yeah, my question for your purpose there. I think that most of the people, when they are thinking of a purpose, they kind of think of a life purpose.
Yeah.
Which is maybe a little bit too big.
Yeah, totally understand.
For that.
Yeah, totally understand. For example, my purpose here is to help people making more money. Simple purpose. I'm here in my coaching program to help people make more money with the information and the knowledge that I have gathered in the past 10 years. And in my coaching program, people are making progress. People are making more money. I'm going to show you a couple of examples in the end, how people are making much more better results than before joining my coaching program. But my purpose here is to help people make more money. And with now this is with my information products. Then with my e-commerce, it's not the same purpose anymore. It's a different purpose. But I have to have a purpose in my business, because I really need to understand in the morning that why I'm doing this, why I wake up in the morning, why I spend my time in Tallinn not meeting my kids for the next 2 weeks, for example. I'm spending a lot of time in business, not meeting my family. There must be a purpose for that. Yeah.
I have to leave a bit.
Yeah,
it's not possible to get the slides to our email.
Yeah, I can send Jari and then you can forward the slides, of course. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thanks, Marko and Jari, for this.
Okay, then, so write down these goals. 10-year goal, 1 year, 5-year goal, 1 year goal, and especially the next month. Now, what's your goal for March, for example? And I personally like using monetary goals, like how much I'm going to make in March. What's my turnover in March? That's my style. I like doing that because I like numbers. So I write down how much I must make in March in order to provide myself a little gift after that. If I exceed my goal, if I reach my goals, I'm going to provide myself and also for my family a small gift. And an example is that I buy myself new running shoes. It doesn't cost much, but I don't allow myself to buy new running shoes, which I really need, before I reach my goals. So I'm trying to force myself. But I have to have these goals, because I also have written down my goals on the wall. I have a wall I have my desk at home, and on the left side I have my goals written down. I also have my goals visualized with pictures on the left side of my desk, so that I can actually see them all the time. The reason why I have them on the left side, because the wall is so close. Now, write these down, visualize with images if you can, and get back to these goals at least once a month, maybe more. Then you have something real to work for. Then use a success diary. And this is basically a to-do list. Now, when you have the goals for the next month, for example, now you can write down exactly what you need to do tomorrow in order to get closer to your 1 month goal. For example, in my case, I know exactly that I must run more webinars. I have to do advertising in order to get people to my webinars, and I have to spend money in advertising. The same applies with my e-commerce store. Also, I have my next goals to open my journal store. So I know exactly what to do tomorrow. Now the rest is really depending on myself, if I'm going to do it or not. But I know exactly what to do. But I wouldn't know if I didn't do these things for the past few months and past few years. Because I've been doing these things, writing down these goals, and I know exactly what to do. But if I didn't do this, I would be, hustling here, hustling there, doing this, doing that, not actually doing anything right thing. Okay. Now, what is the secret for success? Execution. I have a couple of guys making lots of sales. I asked these guys a few weeks ago, in the chat, what is really the secret in your case? What's the secret for building a business so fast? And the response was just execution, execution, execution. It's all about execution. So, when you have your goals written down, you have your to-do list, you know exactly what to do tomorrow. After that, it's about execution. It's about sitting down and hitting the keyboard and doing the things. It's really about that. Now, if you find yourself avoiding the work, doing some much more interesting things, running all the time like I used to do, I used to avoid work by running like crazy, long distances. Until I figure out, and I'm going running because I avoid doing these work things, because working really requires quite a lot of effort. So execution is the key for success. Whatever you do, execution is really the key. Focusing on the right things and then executing these things. Doing these to-do lists, going through your to-do list every single day. You have to be like a robot. Repeating the day like exactly the same way, waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, hitting the keyboard 6:10 a.m. Myself, I open the laptop immediately after waking up. Okay, I typically start pouring coffee, then I open my laptop, wait for the coffee, check my stats. Every single morning I wake up and check my stats for sales. And that's how I start. Then I start going through the to-do list that I wrote last night. So every day I write my to-do list for the next day. I have to say that I fail sometimes. I don't do these things 365 days a year. I try. Sometimes I fail. Everybody fails sometimes. But when you find out, when you see that I haven't been doing my to-do list for the past 3 days, then just get back to the line. I mean, start doing the to-do list again. So everybody fails every now and then. Nobody is like perfect, but you gotta focus and then you gotta execute. So what does it mean for you to execute things? What do you think? What does it mean to execute?
Taking care of the task that will get you forward to your goal.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Why don't we execute? Why don't we do these things? Why don't we write down the goals? Why don't we use to-do lists? And why don't we execute?
TV and some other things that are preventing us.
I think it's in the,
Maybe there's also this scan, focus, act. Like in the beginning, you don't know what you need to execute.
Yeah,
so you scan and understand and really deep learning for that 1 year or whatever.
Yeah, totally understand.
Focus, and then you start executing the key things.
Yeah, totally
know
understand.
what they are.
Yeah, the more you do, I mean, the more time you work with your business, the more you learn and the better you get. But always, right from the beginning, you should really focus and execute. But I totally understand it can be fuzzy in the beginning. Yeah.
Also, people don't invest enough time in self-development. They don't know that they have to do these right 3 things right before.
Yeah.
This, do this, do that.
Yeah.
It comes from the books.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and I totally agree. But I think I've seen so many people that I feel like that most people just, you know, avoid how do you say the workload that it takes. I mean, you gotta put the time in, and you gotta really suffer sometimes. You gotta do annoying things and many things. And most people avoid these and try to find, you know, like easier ways, like not much, you know, suffering, which sometimes you have to do. Okay, let's get forward. So basically, you really, as I told in the beginning, you have to test and test and test. You have to test ideas. If your first idea doesn't work, then skip it. Next, move on to the next one. Just like Jari told you that the first idea that they had was not really the best idea. When they saw that customer is making great sales with a certain market and so on, so they figured out, okay, let's flip the business. And that's it. So you have to test, and be prepared to change whatever you do. Yeah.
So when you'll be focusing on advertising.
Yeah.
So how do you find your people? How do you obviously test and you find different groups and
yeah.
Can you touch on that?
Who
do you target and how do you choose your groups?
Yeah. Well, for example, with e-commerce stuff that I sell, I have learned that my best audience is 45 to 60-year-old women who like certain things, and it's quite easy nowadays for me to reach these people. And with Facebook advertising, you just in the second phase of the ad building, you just select
the groups.
Yeah, select. And if you are selling, let's say, like fishing equipment, then you start from fishing. And simple idea. If you are selling alpine skis, you can find people who are interested in alpine skiing and so on. So it's about testing the demographics and testing the different IP.
topics.
Yeah, topics, different topics.
But for example, with the dog collar, like everybody can have a dog.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get dog version
Yeah.
to buy. So how do you just don't care? Or you target the people who are into dogs, or you go for?
Well, basically, with dogs, I've been advertising to those who like different dog breeds. Let's say you have a Labrador Retriever, you like Labrador Retriever Facebook pages, and I target my ads to those who like Labrador Retriever Facebook pages. I can reach you, so it's quite easy. So I'm basically using the dog breeds in this case. And then I just look at the results. I try to find those target groups that are buying with the lowest conversion price. I'm trying to find those audiences where I have to spend less money in advertising in order to make more sales. And also I'm looking for higher volume. So I'm looking for, at the same time, I'm looking for lower conversion prices and higher volume. I'm trying to navigate between these two. Okay, so why most people fail? Oh, it's quite a lot. Sorry, I gotta speed up. So here's the answer. Most people fail because they are not ready to run the extra mile. So what I have learned in running and long distance running and ultra running, where I run like 60 kilometers, 70 kilometers and so on in races, what I have learned is that you gotta push forward and then continue and continue and continue. And many times you fail and fail and fail. You just have to continue. Search for a speech in YouTube called Just Do It or Do It. It's a speech by Art Williams, very long time ago, like from the 80s. Art Williams, Do It. It's a great speech. Listen to it. Then you understand this one. You just have to do it and do it and do it. You just have to continue. And most people are not ready to run the extra mile. Okay. And in the end, this is one of the last slides. Invest in coaching. This is exactly this is the best way for you to invest in your business. Invest in yourself. Invest in teaching about yourself. I'm a coach. Of course, I'm trying to sell my coaching programs to people. If you never come to my coaching, just invest in some coaching because it will forward your. It will speed up your process. It will pay back. Here's for your motivation. I have a couple of friends who have been selling in Amazon for the past 2.5 years. And I was chatting with these guys right after the Christmas, right before the Christmas. This is from the Black Friday to Cyber Monday. These are their sales from Black Friday. This is from 18th of December. Yeah.
Just before Christmas.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what. Now the point here is that this picture might not be exactly what I was saying, but you can see that they've been selling for the past 30 days 1 million. And they are not really the biggest players in Amazon, not at all. But the thing is that they were pushing the sales in Black Friday to Cyber Monday 4 days, and I got a message from the guys that we've been selling 500,000 in 4 days. 4 days, 500,000. It's great. Guess how long these guys have been selling online?
2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years. I think I told you. 2.5 years. Not long. Are you ready to run the extra mile in order to get great results in 2.5 years? I'm not saying that you will make the same results in 2.5 years, but there are people who will make the same amount. There are people who will make much more than this in 2.5 years, and then there are lots of people who will never make this. But this is just one example of two guys making great profit. 30%. So they're making 30% profit. I'm expecting them to make about 5 to 10 million this year. I mean, last year, sorry. Yeah.
Is that like affiliate marketing or their own products?
Own products.
And they started in Amazon.
They are
Amazon started probably.
They started 2.5 years ago in Amazon, totally selling in Amazon. They have their own Shopify store, it's not selling much. But massive amount of the money, 80% of the money, I guess, is coming from 2 products that they have. 2 products.
What is that?
I can't tell you. I gotta be loyal to the guys. But I can tell you that you would be surprised. They are pretty regular products, nothing fancy. Massive results. Think about what these guys are doing in 10 years. So these guys came to me 2 years ago asking, how can we sell more? 2 years ago, they were making like 5,000 in May, 2 years ago, and they came to me asking, how can we sell more? Of course, I started telling them what you need to do. And now I'm calling these guys, how can I make more money? These guys are great. So I look at these guys as an inspiration. Awesome. Great. Okay, so here's a little story for you. This is my daughter, Elle. I'm very proud. She's a figure skater. And she's been skating for the past few years. She started 2 or 3 years later than most girls. So she has been training like crazy. So there are 2 keys to success in her case. So she's been bringing the medals back home from almost every single skating competition for the past half a year. Now, 2 keys to success. First of all, she's extremely high committed. I mean, she's been training like many years, 6 days a week, 20 hours a week, and she's only 11 years old. Very high commitment, and she wants that. I've always said that if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. But she really wants. She has a high commitment from herself. So I'm ready to support her. Now, another thing is that she has a great coach. And without this coach, she would not succeed. This coach really is essential in sports. Now, invest in yourself, as I told you. If you never work with me, if you never study with me, just invest in some coaching. Whatever you do, if you sell in Amazon, invest in Amazon coaching. If you're selling services, invest in some coaching because it will pay back. Personally, I have my own coaches. I pay 5,000 a year for one coach that's teaching me. For another coach, I pay different money. But these guys, can you guess how much they are spending every year for coaching?
10% of the revenue.
20% of the revenue.
Not that much, but 150,000 last year. About 150,000. So they are flying. They are living in the Philippines right now. So they are flying from the Philippines to US for private coaching. They pay 25,000 a year per person for private coaching. And
which nationality are they? Finnish? Are they Finnish guys?
Yeah, they moved to the Philippines because they have the team there. So 150,000 a year in coaching is not much compared to these results, but they started from the zero 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago, they came to me asking how can we sell more? We are selling 5,000 this month in Amazon. How can we sell more? So, the more your business grows, the more you should spend money in coaching because it will pay back. These guys are live examples that it really pays back. And they don't have any special background. The other guy is software engineer like me. And nothing special. They are not salesmen at all. Okay, so invest in yourself. It will pay back. In coaching, you will get a lot of benefits. I don't go all these things because we are running out of time. Just a quick example of people joining my coaching. from 500 euros a day sales up to 2,000 in 2 weeks. So this guy was, this guy joined my coaching program, and in 2 weeks he started getting much better results in sales. So he's also expanding his sales now in Sweden and soon in Germany as well. And I think he's going to make great results this year.
What, he's doing B2C or?
No, selling online physical stuff. So he has an online store as well. So he's selling online. He's selling physical goods with Facebook ads. So basically he came to my coaching program and learned how to do advertising the right way. Okay, so not more about that. Just go to this website, verkkoliiketoiminta.com/10 virhettä opas and so on. You will get these slides and the link later. Here you can download my 10 most typical reasons why people fail. This is in Finnish, I'm sorry. There's another link in English. I will provide you the English one. Now, if you download this, you will come to my email list. You will see how it works. And you will see how I sell my stuff. You can emulate that. You can see how it works for me, and you can try it then for yourself. Okay, then you can join my webinars. I have 2 upcoming webinars this week. Also, I will do the same webinars later. You can use the same links. If you are not joining this week, you can use the same links to join these webinars later. But I'm running 2 webinars this week, tomorrow and Friday.
In English or Finnish?
These are in Finnish, I'm sorry. These are in Finnish. But if you understand Finnish, then you can join these. I will have English webinars later, but not right now. So one is about Facebook ads and Google ads in practice, and the other one is 7 steps to succeeding online. Okay, then you can contact with me. You can find me online from Facebook, LinkedIn, and my website. Facebook is the best way to contact me if you want. It's easiest. I use Facebook every single day, so you can find me there. Hey, thank you very much.